Let me ask you something, and be honest. When you opened your eyes this morning, did you wake up, or did you just start moving? Most of us confuse the two. The alarm rings, we reach for the phone, already swimming in thoughts. Coffee, calendar, tasks. Another day begins, and somehow we're already behind. But waking up, truly waking up, is not about getting out of bed. It's about coming back to yourself. There's a story I once heard about a man who every morning sits silently by his window with a cup of tea. No lights, no noise, just birdsong, and the warmth of steam in his hands. When asked why he does it, he smiles and says, "Because I want the day to arrive before I do." And that, to me, says everything. You see, many believe the day begins when we act, when we do. But what if the real beginning, the sacred one, happens before all of that? Before the voice in your head starts listing everything you didn't finish? Before the pressure to be useful, productive, good? What if the real beginning is being, right here, right now? With one soft breath, one quiet thank you. So today, I invite you to try something different. Not a new habit, not a rule, just a gentle shift. Start from the inside out. Start not with doing, but with gratitude. Because how you enter the morning will shape how the morning enters you. Part 1. Waking up gently. Not to act, but to feel. There's a story I carry with me. Simple, quiet, like the rustle of leaves on a windless morning. It's about an old man who lived at the edge of a village in the hills of northern Japan. He had no wife left, no children nearby, just a small wooden house, a teapot always warm, and a window that looked east toward the sun. Every morning, as the sky began to blush with light, he would sit silently by that window. No lights were turned on, no television, no radio, just him, a clay cup in his hand, steam rising gently like prayer. He never moved in haste. He never spoke, unless spoken to. One curious neighbor, younger, busier, always rushing to work, once asked him, "Why do you sit here every morning in silence without doing anything?" The old man smiled, looked out toward the hills and said, "Because I want the day to arrive before I do." Now, I don't know about you, but something about that answer makes my breath slow down a little. Because, isn't that the truth of it? So many of us wake up not to the morning, but to momentum. The alarm goes off, the to-do list starts ticking in our heads. Before our feet even find the floor, coffee becomes gasoline, not comfort. And in all of that, we forget to arrive, we forget to feel. But what if waking up was not the moment your eyes opened, but the moment your heart softened? You see, the body can be awake, while the soul is still curled up inside, like a child not ready to leave bed. The eyes see light, the feet move across the floor, but something essential, something tender, remains untouched, unopened. In Buddhism, this quality of presence, of touching life in its fullness, is called sati, mindfulness. But not the kind you do to achieve something. No, this is mindfulness as remembrance, a remembering of what it feels like to be truly here. And that brings me back to that old man by the window. He wasn't waiting for the day to begin. He was letting it arrive into him, through the warmth of the cup, the hush of the birds, the pale sunlight brushing across the table. It was his ritual, not of action, but of attention, not of doing, but of being. Now, maybe you don't have a view of the mountains, or a clay cup, or even silence, but you do have a breath, and you do have a heart. And every morning, no matter where you are, you have a chance, a small sacred window, to meet yourself gently. Try this just once tomorrow morning, before you check the news, Before your thoughts tumble into planning or remembering, place your hand softly on your chest. Right there, feel the rise and fall, the warmth, the quiet miracle of breath. No need to fix anything, solve anything, or name anything. Just say, in the privacy of your own heart, "Thank you, I'm still here." Why does that matter? Because, in that one moment, before the voices, before the headlines, before the habits, you've touched the present, you've touched life. There's an old Buddhist teaching that says, the mind is like water. When it's still, it reflects clearly. But when we rush from sleep to schedule, from stillness to stress, we muddy the surface before we've even looked in. We lose the chance to see what's really there. And let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt the morning as a gift? Not as something to manage, but as something to marvel at. I ask because, the older we get, the more we know. Mornings are not guaranteed. Each one is a doorway we may or may not walk through again. And that isn't something to fear. It's something to honor. To wake gently is to honor the truth that life is not a task, it's a treasure. Now, this doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour or chant ancient mantras. No, sometimes it's enough, more than enough, to sit quietly, to breathe, to let the day unfold like a flower you don't need to pick. Because in those first few minutes of being awake, your mind is soft, your heart is still close to the mystery it came from in sleep. That's when gratitude can enter, not as a thought, but as a feeling. There's a beautiful image in Zen, the soul stretching like a cat after sleep. That's what we're doing here, not forcing anything, not fixing anything, just stretching inwardly, opening a little more to the day. So, as we move on, I ask you to carry this simple practice in your pocket. Before you rise, before you react, pause, feel, thank. Because you're not just waking up to a new day, you're waking up to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the day was waiting for all along. Part 2. Gratitude is a choice, not a reaction. Let's stay here a little longer. In this quiet space where the world hasn't rushed in yet, you've taken a breath, you've remembered your heart, and now, perhaps you're ready to listen more deeply. But listen to what? To something quieter than the morning news, more tender than your thoughts. Something many people mistake for a reaction, when in truth, it's a decision. I'm talking about gratitude. Most of us grow up thinking of gratitude as something that shows up after something good happens. You get a gift, you say thank you. You enjoy a sunny day, you feel grateful. Someone holds the door open, you nod and smile. And all of that is beautiful, of course. But it's only one side of the story. What happens on the days when nothing goes right? When the coffee spills, the back aches, the phone doesn't ring, or worse, when it rings with news you weren't ready for. On those days, where does gratitude go? Does it hide? Does it wait in some corner for life to become easier again? Or could it be that gratitude is not a visitor, but a companion, one we choose to walk with, even when the road turns rough? Let me tell you a story. There was a woman I met years ago at a small community gathering, a widow in her late 70s. Her name was Anna. She had soft, tired eyes and hands that trembled just slightly when she lifted her cup of tea. We sat together after the group had dispersed, and she told me something I've never forgotten. She said, "I didn't understand gratitude until my husband passed. Before that, I said thank you when things were good. After that, I realized gratitude was all I had left. I woke up the day after his funeral, and the world was still turning. The birds still sang, the wind still moved through the trees, and I was still here. That morning I sat by the window, closed my eyes and said thank you. Not because I wasn't in pain, but because, even in the pain, I could still feel. That kind of gratitude is not small. It is not dependent on circumstances. It's not waiting for pleasure or success or even peace. It's born from presence, from knowing that each breath is already a gift. Each moment a visitor we'll never meet again. The Buddha once said, "Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we did get sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful." It sounds simple, even playful, but in those words is a profound truth. Gratitude is not passive. It is not something that happens to you. It is something you practice, like kindness, like forgiveness, like breath. Now, maybe you're wondering, but how do I feel grateful when everything feels so ordinary? That's the key. We wait too often for the extraordinary. A perfect day, a big event, some grand gesture. But life is made mostly of ordinary. And if we don't learn to say thank you for the ordinary, we miss the entire thread of our days. Try it. Right now. Look at your hands. Really look. How many meals have they made? How many faces have they touched? How many doors have they opened? Tears they've wiped. Letters they've written. Have you ever thanked your hands, not for what they produce, but for simply being yours, or your eyes, not for reading fine print, but for seeing the colors of morning, the faces of those you love, the soft glow of a candle in the dark? There's an old Zen teaching that says, when walking, just walk. When eating, just eat. I'd like to add, when living, just give thanks. But not because everything is perfect, rather because everything is passing. And that's the heart of it, isn't it? Nothing stays, not youth, not sorrow, not even the ache in your bones. Every single thing, from the smell of toast to the sound of rain on the roof, is a vanishing miracle. And gratitude is the practice of noticing that miracle before it slips away. So now I ask you gently, can you be grateful for what is already fading? Can you say thank you, not after the blessing, but as the blessing disappears into memory? Because when you do, you begin to see that life doesn't owe us anything. And that's what makes every small joy so holy. We'll carry this spirit with us into the next part of our journey. But before we do, take a quiet moment, just for yourself. Place your hand over your heart again, and softly whisper, not because you must, but because you can. Thank you for this moment. I didn't earn it. I simply received it. And now, let's continue. Part 3. Gratitude heals because it makes us present. By now you may already feel it, that soft shift inside, like curtains parting to let the morning in. Not because life has changed, but because your gaze has, and that is the quiet power of gratitude. It doesn't require the world to be different. It simply asks that you see it more clearly. But here's the tender truth. Many of us forget, gratitude is not just a feeling, it's medicine. And like all true medicines, it works not by adding something foreign, but by restoring something forgotten, something you already carry within. Let me tell you a story. There was a man I once met during a visit to a hospice center, a quiet place at the edge of town where the world slows down. He was in his 80s, a former gardener, his spine curved like a tree grown wise with weather. His hands trembled when he moved, and his lungs often failed to keep pace with his thoughts. But every morning, every single one, he would ask the nurse to help him outside, just to sit for 10 minutes near a small potted plant. It wasn't a beautiful plant, just an old geranium in a cracked red pot. But he cared for it as if it were a child. He watered it, whispered to it, smiled at it, like they shared a private joke. One day, curious, I asked him why he took the trouble, especially when every breath cost him so much. He looked at me with eyes that held both weariness and wonder, and said, "Because it reminds me I'm still part of life." That sentence has never left me, because what he taught me, in that one quiet reply, was this: we don't heal from the past by analyzing it, or fix the future by worrying about it. We come back to life by remembering we are still here, and gratitude is how we remember. The mind, especially as we age, becomes a well-worn path. It knows how to walk the road of regrets. It knows the language of what if and too late. But gratitude speaks a different tongue. It speaks now. It says, yes, your knees ache, but look, you're still walking. It says, yes, your hands shake, but they still hold. It says, yes, someone you loved is gone, but this breath, this very one, is still yours. In Buddhist practice, we often speak of mindfulness as returning to the present, returning to the body, returning to this moment as it is, not as we wish it were. And gratitude is one of the most direct ways back, because you cannot be fully grateful and fully distracted at the same time. You cannot be deeply thankful and also deeply lost in the past or the future. Gratitude anchors you. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. The room hasn't changed, but you begin to see what's always been there. Now let me pause here and ask you, when was the last time you truly noticed something without needing it to impress you? A warm spoon of soup, a song that makes your shoulders sway, a smile from a stranger in the grocery store, the hush of your house at 3 a.m. when everyone else is sleeping. These aren't grand things, but they are real, and reality, when seen through the eyes of gratitude, becomes sacred. You see, pain often lives in what's missing, but gratitude lives in what's already here. There's a beautiful phrase in Thich Nhat Hanh's teachings: this moment is a wonderful moment. And it's not because the moment is exciting or grand, it's because it's alive. And so are you. You may not always be able to change your circumstances, illness, aging, loss. These are parts of life. No one escapes. But you can change how you meet them, not by pretending they're not hard, but by choosing not to walk through them alone. And gratitude walks with you. Let me be even more clear. This is not about denial. This is not about pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's about recognizing, even amidst pain, that there is still beauty, still connection, still breath. And breath is everything. Try this with me now, right where you are. Breathe in, slowly, gently, and on the exhale, just whisper inside yourself, I am here. Do it again. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, say, and this moment is enough. Feel what that does. Not in your head, in your chest, in your belly, in the muscles that so often brace for life, instead of embracing it, because that's where healing begins. Not in the fixing, not in the future, but in the quiet act of saying, this is my life, and even now, I choose to love it. And so we continue, not with a heavy heart, but a steady one, because each time you remember what's here, you are no longer lost. You've come home. Part 4. Letting go through gratitude. Letting go. 2 small words, soft in sound, but heavy in the heart. They're words we hear often in life, especially as the years pass. Let go of anger, they say. Let go of regret, of fear, of what no longer serves you. But if you've ever truly tried to let go, not just say it, not just wish for it, you know it's not that easy. Because letting go is not forgetting. It's not pretending it didn't happen. And it's certainly not something you can force, like pulling a weed from dry soil. No, letting go is more like autumn. It's when the tree doesn't force the leaves to fall. It simply stops holding on. And what allows it to stop holding on is trust. Trust that the next season will come. Trust that the roots will remain. Trust that even in bare branches there is beauty. Now, what does that have to do with gratitude? Let me tell you. There was a woman I met once, many years ago, after a quiet Dharma talk in a small temple tucked away in the hills of California. She came up to me slowly, the kind of slow you learn from grief. Her husband had passed away a year earlier. Her daughter hadn't spoken to her in months, and her face carried that kind of fatigue that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying sorrow too long. She said to me, with tears quietly trailing down her cheeks, "I keep trying to let go of the pain, but I can't. It keeps circling back. I want to forgive, but something in me is stuck." And I remember I didn't try to give her an answer. I simply asked her one question: "Can you thank yourself for still being here?" She blinked, surprised. "I've never thought of that," she said. "I've only been focused on what I've lost, not what I've lived through." You see, we often think of letting go as a grand gesture, some climactic moment where the heart finally opens like a door blown wide by a storm. But more often, it's quiet. It's the slow untying of knots we didn't even know we carried. And one of the gentlest, most powerful tools we have to begin that untying is gratitude. Not the gratitude for what happened, not the gratitude for the pain, but gratitude for having walked through it. Gratitude for the part of you that endured, for the strength you didn't know you had, for the breath that still rises and falls, carrying you forward when your spirit feels too tired to walk. In the Buddhist tradition, we often speak of metta, loving kindness, but we forget that metta begins with the self, and that includes the parts of us that are still hurting, still confused, still healing. There's a line from the Buddha's teachings that says, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So I ask you, what would it feel like to thank your own heart? Not for being perfect, not for being strong all the time, but simply for showing up, again and again, even when it didn't know how." Try it with me now. Place your hand over your chest, if you can, and just say, quietly inside, "Thank you for keeping me alive, for beating through it all." It may sound small, but small things are often sacred. You don't need to be ready to forgive. You don't need to have moved on. You don't even need to fully understand what happened. You just need to begin with a whisper of kindness toward yourself. Because here's the beautiful secret. Gratitude doesn't ask you to let go forcefully. It invites you to let be. And when you can sit with your sorrow, not push it away, not drown in it, but simply sit beside it and say, "Even now, I thank you for what you've taught me." That is when release begins. Letting go is not an act of erasing, it's an act of embracing and then loosening the grip. And sometimes the first loosening happens, not through effort, but through grace, through a softening, through that quiet moment when you say, "I may not have all the answers, but I'm still here, and for that, I am grateful." As we prepare to enter the final part of this journey together, I invite you to reflect on this. What if gratitude isn't something you feel after the healing, but the very thing that helps you begin? Let us carry that question forward, gently, slowly, into the light of a new morning. Part 5. Gratitude as the ground for the day ahead. And now the sun has fully risen. You may not see it yet, but it's already begun its silent work, warming rooftops, catching dew off blades of grass, slipping through the curtains like a soft hand across the face. The day is calling, not loudly, not urgently, just a gentle stirring, like the soft creak of an old chair as someone rises. And the question is no longer whether we will enter the day, but how. You see, after all we've explored, the stillness of waking, the choosing of gratitude, the healing presence it brings, the quiet power to let go, what remains is this simple human moment, stepping forward. And this is where gratitude becomes a ground beneath your feet. There's a story, simple and true, of a woman named Margaret. She was in her late 80s when I met her at a retreat center, nestled in the mountains. She walked slowly, always with a scarf around her neck and a sparkle in her eye, like someone who knew secrets you'd have to grow old to earn. Every morning, she had a ritual. She would wake before the others, dress with care, always choosing color, never just comfort. A soft blouse, a bright pin, lipstick the color of wild roses. Then she would make a pot of tea and sit near the window with her notebook. And in that notebook, before writing anything else, she would list 3 things she was grateful for every single morning. No matter the weather, no matter her pain. I once asked her what made her so faithful to the practice. She smiled and said, "I dress the soul before I meet the world." That's all. That phrase stayed with me, because how many of us go out into the day clothed in worry? How many of us step into the noise without ever settling the silence inside? Gratitude, in its purest form, is not a list of nice things. It's a way of anchoring, a way of saying, before I move, let me root. Before I speak, let me feel. It's not something we save for when the day has gone well. It's something we carry like a lamp, illuminating our path as we go. There's a powerful image from Buddhist philosophy that speaks to this. Imagine a lotus flower blooming from the mud. It does not wait for perfect conditions. It grows from darkness, from the wet and the dirt. But it grows anyway, and not in spite of the mud, but because of it. Gratitude is like that. It's not naive. It knows the mud, but it also knows the light. And in choosing to see both, it opens. Now maybe your day ahead is full of tasks, phone calls, appointments, reminders, or maybe it's quiet, spacious, even a little lonely. Either way, gratitude gives you a choice. To move not with heaviness but with presence. To engage not from lack, but from enoughness. So before you rise, before you cross that soft threshold from stillness to activity, pause and ask yourself, what am I grateful for that I didn't notice yesterday? It could be the softness of your pillow, the neighbor's laughter through the wall, your own breath, steady and faithful, asking nothing in return. And then one more question: how would today feel if I carried that knowing with me? Let that be the fabric you wrap around your heart before you step out the door. Let it shape your gaze, your voice, your choices. Because the world doesn't need more people rushing to win. It needs more people arriving awake, grounded, grateful, willing to see the sacred even in the ordinary. And that includes you. Yes, you, with your aches and memories, your quiet strength, and your tender places. You are part of this unfolding day, and you get to choose how you enter it. So enter slowly, enter with kindness, enter with your hand still warm from resting over your heart, whispering softly, "Thank you for all that is, for all that has been, for all that will come." Because if there is one thing worth carrying into the day, let it be that. Conclusion: a blessing to begin again. So here we are, at the quiet edge of a new day. You've walked with me through stillness, through breath, through memory. You've touched the softness of waking, the courage of letting go, the presence that gratitude invites. And maybe, just maybe, you've remembered something simple, but sacred. You don't have to fix everything this morning. You don't have to feel joyful, or strong, or ready. You only have to be here, one breath, one quiet. Thank you. That's all it takes to begin again. Not with noise, but with awareness. Because when you start your day from the inside, with presence rather than pressure, you begin to notice what was always waiting beneath the noise: beauty, grace, enoughness. Let me ask you, when was the last time you greeted the morning without expectations, without rushing to become someone, simply allowing yourself to be? Have you ever thanked the moment before asking anything from it? These are not questions to answer quickly. They're meant to echo inside, long after this video fades. So wherever you are, however this day unfolds, may you walk gently, not chasing peace, but noticing it, already here, not reaching for more, but seeing more deeply into what already is. And if this message found a quiet place in your heart, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to Quiet Wisdom, a space where we listen more than we speak and feel more than we fix. Until next time, may your breath be your anchor and your gratitude your guide.